Hello and welcome to A Bit Above Podcast.
I'm Audra.
And I'm Hadassah, and we are two average women living oceans apart. Our show displays a reachable lifestyle where we work to be better versions of ourselves in our day-to-day life. We know that the constant strive for perfection can lead to anxieties and disappointment, so we make changes that enhance our lives without giving up the things we love. Join us each week as we chat about motherhood, positivity, feel-good stories, relationships, and everything in between. Audra, how's your 2021 going so far?
So different than 2020. Not. How's yours?
Oh, the same. It's like a whole new world out here, 2021, the whole new life.
New year, new you.
Actually, my 2021 is not going so well because my family is in quarantine because my in-laws have coronavirus. This is the first time we're officially in quarantine, and honestly, it just feels the same because I'm not really going out much anyways, but just knowing that I have to be in the house makes it worse.
Oh, for sure. Did you get tested?
My daughter got tested yesterday. She's 5 months. Some paramedic came and swabbed her mouth. And then today a paramedic came and swabbed my mouth and nose.
I thought they only went up the nose. So how did the test feel for you? They went in your mouth and up your nose?
Do you know that it was both sides of the nose?
Each nostril?
Yes. Do you know that? Because I thought, got that first one done with. I'm good to go. No, they did 2 times.
No, I don't know. Your eyes must have watered. It's going up your sinus cavity. It's tickling your brain a little, right?
I don't think it tickled my brain. I think after getting the test, I think that it clearly is not the brain. It's just the sinuses. Maybe I'm just less dramatic than others. No, wait. That's not possible. I'm very dramatic. So nope. The problem was after he dropped one of the sticks on the floor, so he had to do it again also.
No! Dude, you're not swabbing the floor. It's my nose.
The last time that my daughter had to get a corona test, she laughed through it. She was giggling.
Wow.
I know, she's a bigger trooper than I am. I pretended like everything was fine because my husband had to go next and I didn't want him to be scared.
Okay, wait. So baby girl takes it like a champ and giggles through it, but you're worried about how your husband's going to react to it.
Hey, you know how these men are when they're not feeling so well.
You'll have to tell her, the little one when she's older.
What, that she got a stick stuck in her nose? She's gonna be like, every day it's like that. What do you mean?
Oh no, what our future will hold. We'll have daily nose swabs to see if we can come out to play. But know that she took it bigger of a champ than her dad. You had to, set her dad up, make sure that he was good to go. But nope, babes got it and she just giggled her way through it.
When I was pregnant, I had to get blood tests all the time. And one time, my husband had to do a blood test for a DNA kind of thing. Oh my God. He sat there all worried. He made me hold his hand. You know what? We can spend 45 minutes talking about men and how they handle pain, but we can save that for another time.
So, Hadassah, do you think you have COVID-19? Do you feel sick at all?
Mentally and spiritually, is that the word? I don't know. I feel fine. But then physically, I have achiness on my body. It's hard to breathe. And I've been coughing like crazy, which is exactly what corona symptoms are.
Oh, yeah. I'm checking them off the boxes over here for you. And I'm yep, she got corona.
Yeah, but if I have corona, how did Aaliyah not have it?
I am no doctor, forewarn you all. I know zero medical stuff except my own diagnoses. I hear that in families, certain members will get it and certain members won't. And I don't think that there's a deciding factor, who gets it, who doesn't.
I thought that Aaliyah gave me coronavirus because her and my mother-in-law are always together. So I thought she gave it to me, but it seems like no. So, I'm going with the idea that maybe I just don't have it.
I guess a positive mindset, can do the body wonders. I do know that it's airborne and it's also on surfaces. So regardless of how you got it, if you even have it, it's all about just getting well, getting over it, and not getting it again if you did have it. So we'll have to see how this plays out. When do you get test results? How quick are they?
I think tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast.
Up till 2 days.
Okay.
Do you know what's a bummer though? We have been planning this podcast for so long and I've been waiting for my voice to sound right, for me to feel right. And now I'm sick. And it's we're not going to push off when we do the podcast. But honestly, it makes me feel less worried about how I sound because what am I supposed to do, right? I'm sick. So it actually takes off a lot of the pressure. Plus the tea I'm drinking and the cup of wine I'm drinking at the same time.
Wait, what kind of tea are you drinking?
Chamomile and spearmint with honey and rosé.
More rosé. You need to double up.
Let me introduce you to an app that we love called Anchor. Anchor allows you to create and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. We use Anchor to create our podcast, and it makes it so easy for us to do. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more places. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. So this episode is going to be run a little differently. We want to introduce ourselves, we want to introduce the podcast, and we also want to let you know what's coming up in future episodes. Normally, we're going to have one episode a week that's like your standard A Bit Above podcast episode, which you'll see. And then the second episode, which is going to come out on Fridays, is going to be a more conversation-based, where we either talk to a guest or we talk to each other in a more casual manner. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Hadassah, and I live in Israel. I grew up in New Jersey, and I lived there until I was 18 years old. A month after my 18th birthday, I moved to Texas. I worked at the mall for like 3 years, and then I came to Israel on like an internship program situation. That's when I met my now husband on the bus. It was like 3 weeks into my trip, and I was only supposed to be there for 5 months, yet I still managed to take like 5 suitcases with me, but whatever. After a few months, we moved in together, and then after a year, we got engaged, and then we got pregnant, and then we got married in that order. And now it's 2.5 or so years that I've been here in Israel, and we're planning on moving back to America. That's like a whole story on its own. Fun fact about me is I'm a triplet. I like country music. I'm trying to think what else is interesting because, you know, I feel like over time you'll get to know me, and I got lots of stories.
My name is Audra. To get to know me a little bit more, I live here in the U.S. I live in New Hampshire. I know Hadassah mentioned that she lived in New Jersey. If we had only known we lived that close to each other before she decided to move all the way across the world, we probably could have been friends sooner. Just saying. I've lived here my entire life. I live in a small town, in a small state. Most people don't know where it is on a map. I'll help you. DM me. I don't know. You're going to get to know so much more about me and all of the changes and probably the things that we're going to change about ourselves as we do this podcast. So it's going to be fun, but you know, you just get a little teaser now.
Something that we both have in common is that I believe, I'm speaking for myself, but I believe we're both at a point where we like who we are and we love who we are right now, but we both are very self-growth minded. One of our goals for the podcast is to improve ourselves. I know in the past like month or two since we've known each other, I'm already a changed woman.
Oh yeah. So we're still the same people who we are, but there's been so many positive like bonus things that we've been able to incorporate into our lives in just having different perspectives in points of view from other people, especially across the world. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, so how we met. I'm going to say my side of the story up until the point where we met and then where we got like to know each other, and then you say your side of it, okay? Welcome to our love story. It's a very romantic one, probably more romantic than how I met my husband. We both listen to the show called The Bobby Bones Show. If you know what it is, then we're probably already friends.
We're friends with everyone.
I started a Facebook group for fans of the show, which I know sounds super nerdy, whatever. I get it. I was like too embarrassed to tell people that I started one because like that's weird. So I didn't like market it or anything. But then one day like people kept like joining and like popping in like popcorn, and 1,000 people like joined in like a day. I had seen Audra's name pop up a lot because as an admin, like I can kind of see what's going on in the group. And then one day we were like working on this project, 40 people were included. It was just like a crap day. And then Audra messaged me. She asked me like how my day was going. And I was like, honestly, and I have no idea why I just went and told a complete stranger how my day was going crap. It was just a moment. I had had a baby like a little bit before that, and I dealt with postpartum depression, plus being really far away from my family. A whole nother topic we're not going to talk about right now, just because that's not a very love story kind of topic. I was dealing with my own things, and she brought in this really cool perspective. This random lady on Facebook was telling me all these like amazing positive things, and I went to sleep feeling so much better. And then we checked in on each other again, and one time she sent me a voice message, and it was like, "Hello, I'm Audra, and I sound like this, and I should be on the radio, and I'm all sweet and stuff." And I'm just like, girl, let's start a podcast.
Note to all. I did not say I should be on the radio.
I said you should be on the radio.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, definitely. So saw Hadassah's Facebook page, kind of looked at it for a little while, was like, yeah, cool, B team group, all about it. Didn't join yet. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to join. Cool. And then all of a sudden it blew up and I'm like, what is happening here? Wasn't sure how long the page was around, to be honest, because I avoided Facebook for like 7 to 8 years because it wasn't a happy place. And then the same, Hadassah, we just connected, reached out, did a project together. And yeah, there was that one fateful night where Miss Hadassah was having a moment and she reached out to a total stranger, which was so cool. I got the luck of the draw on this one because I'm great with advice and listening. And I was raised by grandparents who always said, be a good listener. So I just listened and was supportive and just kind of got to know her. And if you get to know somebody at a vulnerable state of their life, you can only go up from there. So from that day forward, we talk pretty much every single day. I don't think we've actually missed a day where we didn't at least say hello or good morning or something to each other.
Well, the one day was like Christmas, but we still got on the phone.
Yeah, we've still talked on Christmas. We FaceTimed on Christmas for even just a few minutes. So see, there's not one day that we didn't even converse. It's been amazing. Like, it's been a total life changer. I mean, I think that sometimes you have to hit maybe a low or plateau in your life, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happens in the universe and you get connected to somebody or something and you get a whole new perspective on life. And it has been life-changing since I've met Miss Hadassah.
Oh, for sure. Before this, I would wake up in the morning and not to be all bummer, but I didn't feel like I had things to look forward to. Here in Israel, it's like a different life where my opportunities are different than when I was in America. With this whole group and my relationship with Audra and just having a different perspective, I wake up and I have options to look forward to. And if not for you, Audra, I'm not going to get emotional, but if not for you, I wouldn't have the same perspective that I have right now and I wouldn't be as changed. So I'm just appreciative because it's hard to get motivated sometimes, we want to lose weight, we want to be more positive, we want to be more healthier, we want all this stuff, but we see these Instagram accounts and podcasts that are talking about how to live your best life, how to be the best version of yourself.
Well, they give you ideas. They're like, oh, you could try this, but even if somebody gives you an idea, you might not know how to apply that idea. So if you have somebody that you can talk to and literally talk it out and be like, what if I physically or mentally or emotionally change to this? Is that going to work? And you bounce that idea off somebody, then I feel like it's more pliable and it's more doable than just listening to someone say, oh, you should do this or you could do that.
For sure. And Audra and I have realistic goals. And I hate saying that because I don't want to put other people down, but we want to just be healthier. We don't want to be the healthiest tomorrow. You know what I mean? We want to attract people who want that too. We want a circle around us that are people always trying to be better.
Oh, absolutely. Perfection is not even a word that I use. I don't believe in it. If you are in a quote unquote perfect setting, you have nothing to strive for. And I don't think it would be a happy plateau to sit on where you believe that everything is perfect in the world. Haven't met anyone or seen that happen. So therefore, I go with always striving to do better, and learning new techniques and gaining friends along the way is very encouraging.
I have given up so many opportunities just because I didn't feel like I can do it the best. Isn't that ridiculous?
No, I don't think it's ridiculous at all. I totally agree. Life is hard and you got to do what's best for you, and you got to make some difficult decisions sometimes, and some come easy and some come really, really hard.
Our theme of the podcast is about being a bit above average. Average is for yourself. It should be a self word, So average is a relative word. So you can be average in one society, it could be different in another society. I live in Israel. The average here is very different. Find your line and be a little bit better, and your line will always change. We're not a self-help podcast. We're not going to talk all the time about this is what you should do, this is what you should do, that is what you should do. We're going to talk about positivity. We're going to just display the lifestyle we live, and we're also going to share some tips that work for us. Words you're not going to hear. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be green juices. It will not be weight loss shakes. And I'll tell you this right now. If you need to pay someone to lose weight, you're not doing it right. That might be a way, but why should you pay someone else for you to be healthier?
If your overall goal for weight loss is a mindset, you better be paying yourself to change it.
Are you someone who just wants to be a bit above the average? Do good things for other people. Surround yourself with people who are not perfect. I mean, we don't like that word perfect. I get it. They're not society's perfect. You know, they're not living by other people's standards. Yeah, we got flaws. You want to hear all about them? Wait and see. You'll see.
Wait, that's a whole podcast in itself. Flaws by Audra and Hadassah.
We have flaws. We're not perfect. We just want a voice to be able to talk about the things that we're passionate about. We want you to stick by with us and be part of the conversation, you know?
Yeah, and we're going to have future episodes are going to have kind of a flow to them. Every episode's going to be unique and different, but we're going to have people on. We're going to have interviews. We have things lined up for you all to listen to and to keep you engaged. And we want your feedback more than anything. We want to know what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about. I mean, the sky is the limit. We are willing to talk about anything.
We also have a therapist that's going to come on periodically. His name is Joshua. We got to talk to him last week, and Audra and I would talk to him for hours if we could, because we have so many questions. So we will have like an Ask the Therapist, but also on Friday, we will have a whole episode where we get to know him better, where we get to ask him some questions that we have. Look out for that on Friday. And if you have any questions for Joshua, our Instagram is called A Bit Above Pod. You can DM us and ask Joshua a question if you have. It could be about anything. Even if we don't use it for the first episode, we will have a list of questions that we want to ask him. So always feel free to reach out to us. Another thing I want to add is the people that we have lined up for guests are incredible. We want our podcast to be about like people like me and Audra and you who go through real life events, deal with things like postpartum depression, eating disorders. We're going to have someone on who has twins. So if you have something unique about your life and you want to talk about, we want to give you a voice. We might have cool people on too. Hell yeah. But that's not our goal. Our goal is to have real life stories that we can learn from them.
So now you got to know us a little bit, and there's so much more that you're going to find out. We hope you stay tuned in and you shoot us some comments or some DMs at A Bit Above Pod on Instagram. We want to know what you want to hear about, and we're going to tell you things that we learn along the way.
Friday, you can catch our interview with Joshua Nichols, who has lots of things to share, and we're really excited to get to know him more. Subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. Thank you so much for listening, and stick around as we evolve on our A Bit Above podcast.